if you just look at example 2017 to 2026, India have invested $60 billion in renewable energy sector. If you compare, we are the third largest overall new and renewable energy field, including electrical mobility across the globe. No other country had done the acceleration without banking and putting trust on the new technologies. It is also a darker truth that approximately 10% of the assets which we deploy per year basis. When you build this asset, the sun can go wrong, the modules can go wrong, the discom can go wrong, the grid can go wrong, there may be a water scarcity put together.
What does India's energy future look like if this problem doesn't get solved?
If there is no operational technology, investment will not give the return. India is getting developed, and these developed nations' future is dependent on energy. Energy is a backbone of any nation. So we are standing behind that vision by means of our technology, and yeah, we are trying to make sure that all the assets which we deploy performs as intended. This is where we stand.
My guest today has spent years working inside India's energy sector. He is a founder and CEO of TwarIT Mobility, a platform built to solve a problem which most of the industry hasn't even named yet. Pankaj Verma, good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
You have been in the industry space since 2018. What do you think what has changed in the industry since then and what hasn't?
So, 2018 is something where I started Torit, but in terms of what India, I was involved in New India or New Energy Translation State, started somewhere around 2010. So, before starting Torit, I spent around 15 years in overall this transition, wherein India is developing new infrastructure, be it energy, be it renewable energy, and latest electrical mobility and storage. So, yes, so I started Torit, but I had 15 plus years of experience working in large multinational, and over the years, I've seen India building new India infrastructure, which is making us energy reliant, modern India, developing India, from developing to developed India, basically.
And what actually is causing that?
So since 2018, this new energy transition have accelerated. You can say to 5x, 10x, 100x scale. What is happening 2018 till date is we are deploying every year a large number of. We are taking a bold move in terms of investment, be it deploying new EV buses into cities, developing renewable energy plants at a much larger scale, and some of these plants are largest in the world. Developing the capacities for storing and making grid more resilient to Indian demand and absorbing more and more renewable energy. So, if you just look at example 2017 to 2026, India have invested $60 billion in renewable energy sector. If you compare, we are the third largest in overall new and renewable energy field, including electrical mobility across the globe. No other country had done the acceleration without this with so much of you can say banking on the banking and putting trust on the new technologies. So across the India, what have changed 2018, 2010, 26, we are investing more and more, and same time we are trying to answer the question that how we can become more energy independent from the global crisis or global supply chain. So this is what is happening. This is what I feel happening in India. So India as a country doesn't have much of energy resources. When I say energy resources, it means that we don't have lot of coal, lot of petroleum, diesel, natural gases. So we are predominantly importing these from outside the world, from outside India. So majorly, when we are deploying renewable energy or when we are trying to develop new energy India, we need to make sure that our imports are less. And what we are trying to do, we are trying to build an in-house capacity within India to have more and more energy from renewable energies and from the homegrown technologies. So that is what it is right now. but overall equation is that while we are building up all these assets, the important question as a country we also need to think about is how well we are operating these assets, wherein something as a country we need to think about, because we just have now till now deployment experience with lot of models, lot of trust in terms of technology. But overall right now what is more important is to look at how well we operate this for next 15 to 25 years.
So, is that what pushed you to start TwarIT?
Yes. So when you look at any renewable energy or new energy assets, as I told, wind, solar, electrical mobility buses, these are very high capital intensive deployments. So if you just look at the figure $60 billion being invested, it is also a darker truth that approximately 10% of the assets which we deploy per year basis is not operational or losing because of operation issues. And as these assets grow old and old, this number is going to increase significantly from right now to 10% to 15% to 20%. What it means that for every rupee invested, we are losing 20 paisa overall, or we have a kind of potential to lose 20 paisa for every one unit, for every 1 rupee invested. So this is something what is the vision behind the Twarit. If you look at any operation of energy and renewable energy assets, this is a multiple stakeholder and multiple valuable game. Just take an example of a solar power plant. So in solar power plant, once you deploy asset, before deployment you have done so much of analysis, investors, bank, government, uh, engineering companies have done a lot of analysis. So ultimately, the investment hypothesis is that once you build this asset, it should perform under the given band for next 25 years. And when you build this asset, the sun can go wrong, the modules can go wrong, the discom can go wrong, the grid can go wrong, there may be a water scarcity put together. So hence there are multiple variables can impact the performance of the assets. And the moment these variables are not under the band, there is no operational decision. So Twarit helps, the behind the background of Twarit, where why we have started that. In order to make this asset functional, you require to see number of variables and distribute these number of variables to various teams so that they can decide how to course correct from the present situation to a better situation. So that's the fundamental of Twarit. We essentially helps operator to take decisions based on the operation data, which is caused by many variables which can happen over the operation period of time. So just take an example, just take another example of, say, electrical bus being deployed in the city. Before deployment, cities cities, OEMs, bus manufacturers, policymaker, they have thought through that this is how these many kilometers the bus should run, these many people bus should transport, these are the places the bus should charge. And ultimately, once the bus is deployed, there would be number of people traveling per day on a given route, there would be traffic conditions, there may be energy related conditions. So from say 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., if a bus is operating, variables like temperature, variables like traffic in the city, variables like how many people are using the buses, variables like how many energy, what is the energy available for the charging delays. All these variables are going to impact the bus operations per day, per month, per year basis. Not everything was thought through, not everything was seen through back when we were trying to take a decision to deploy the asset ना. तो ये सारी चीज़ों का को अगर हम किसी तरीके से कैप्चर कर पाते हैं, डेटा, फील्ड डेटा, ऑपरेशन डेटा कैप्चर कर पाते हैं, तो इन सब डेटास के थ्रू हम अपने ऑपरेशन साइज पे, टेक्निकल साइज पे, मेंटेनेंस साइड पर, इन सारे साइड पे एक कंबाइंड स्ट्रैटेजी बना सकते हैं कि अगर हमारे पास अ, ये कंडीशंस हैं, तो हम बस को कितने किलोमीटर पे मेंटेन करेंगे, कितने उसकी मेंटेनेंस फ्रिक्वेंसी को कम करना है कि ज़्यादा करना है। अगर चार्जिंग के लिए टाइम का एलोकेशन करना है, तो कब ट्रैफिक है, कब ट्रैफिक नहीं है, कब बस के रूट के हिसाब से कहाँ-कहाँ चार्जर पॉइंट डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं। क्या हम इस क्या हम बस के डिप्लॉयमेंट में सॉफ्टवेयर साइड पे कुछ ऐसा चेंज कर सकते हैं कि बस का ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी को इंक्रीज़ कर सकें? क्या हम ड्राइवर की ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम लॉन्च कर सकते हैं कि वो ड्राइवर उस बस को चलाते हुए कुछ चीज़ों का ध्यान रखें। तो ये सारा चीज़ें, इन सब चीज़ों को करने के लिए वी रिक्वायर्ड ऑपरेशन डेटा ऑफ डे, मिनट एंड आवर। So that data extraction, taking that data and making this data useful for operations company, for government, for driver trainers, for even policymaker. This is where we play a very important role. So what we capture all the data every minute, every hour, uh, and contextualizing that data कि ये डेटा अगर है तो ये डेटा, अगर गवर्नमेंट एंटिटी है तो उसको क्या डेटा देना है, ऑपरेटर है तो उसको क्या डेटा देना है, और अगर पॉलिसी मेकर है तो उसको क्या डेटा देना है, ताकि करंट डिप्लॉयमेंट और आने वाली डिप्लॉयमेंट दोनों परफेक्ट हो सकें या नियर परफेक्ट हो सके, ये जैसा सोचा गया है वैसा काम कर सकें। तो दिस इज समथिंग विच वी इन्फ्लुएंस डे टू डे बेसिस। या सो एक दूसरा एग्जांपल भी ले लें इसमें। सो दूसरा एग्जांपल है, फॉर एग्जांपल एक एक फैक्ट्री है, एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंटिटी है। उस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंटिटी का जो प्रोडक्शन है, वो प्रोडक्शन डिफरेंट टाइम पर होता है, और उनके लिए एनर्जी एक बहुत बड़ा कॉस्ट कंस्ट्रेन है। सो एनर्जी कॉस्ट के लिए डिफरेंट स्ट्रैटेजीज इंडस्ट्री अडॉप्ट कर सकता है, पर कौन सी स्ट्रैटेजी से, किस तरीके से वो अपनी एनर्जी को सोर्स करे जिसके जिससे उसका ऑपरेशन कॉस्ट कंट्रोल में रहे, दिस इज समथिंग वी कैन मेक इट डेटा सेंटरिंग। व्हाट वी कैन डू, फॉर एन एग्जांपल, एक कंपनी है, आपका प्रोडक्शन होता है, आप अपना मैक्सिमम पावर अभी ग्रिड से ले रहे हैं। अगर आप ग्रिड से ले रहे हैं तो डेफिनेटली उसके दो तीन तरह के टैरिफ इंडिया में पॉसिबल हैं। एक नॉर्मल टैरिफ है, एक डिस्काउंटेड टैरिफ है, एक आपका हाई टैरिफ जोन है। तो जब हाई टैरिफ जोन में आप प्रोडक्शन करेंगे, उस टाइम पर अगर आप हाई एनर्जी कॉस्ट लेंगे तो उस टाइम पे आपका प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट ज़्यादा होने वाला है। तो ये ज़्यादा होने के लिए हम क्या स्ट्रैटेजी लगाएं जिससे आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ एनर्जी आप कम से कम हो। तो दिस कैन बी डन इन सेवरल वेज। एक जो महाराष्ट्र के अंदर वेरिएबल वे है कि जो आपका हाई टैरिफ जोन है, उसके अंदर अगर आप पावर बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज सिस्टम से लेते हैं, जिसको आपने सोलर से या विंड से चार्ज किया है, तो डेफिनेटली इट विल मेक लॉट ऑफ सेंस टू यू। बट ये डिप्लॉयमेंट अगर करना है, इसका कैपिटल क्वेश्चन बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इन लैक्स, इट गोइंग टू बी इन करोड़ व्हेन यू इन्वेस्ट इन बैटरीज। सो साइजिंग क्या रहेगा, कैसे उसको चार्ज करना है, कितना सोलर लगाना है, किस तरह से उसको डिस्चार्ज करना है, कहाँ से उस बैटरी को सोर्स करना है, दिस इज ऑल डेटा सेंट्रिक क्वेश्चंस। और अगर ये लग गया तो इसकी ऑपरेशन लाइफ को इंक्रीज कैसे करना है या ऑपरेशन लाइफ को कैसे मेंटेन रखना है, दीज आर ऑल क्वेश्चंस जो हम इंडस्ट्री के लिए वन सिंगल विंडो की तरह सॉल्व करके देते हैं। तो दिस इज समथिंग ऑन द बैटरी एनर्जी साइड, एन एग्जाम्पल जो हम करके दे सकते हैं, और वेयर त्वरित कैन प्ले एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल।
What is Twarit's ultimate goal?
Ultimate goal of Tourism is to make operators and asset owner profitable. अगर एक एसेट को मैंने डिप्लॉय किया, कैपिटल इन्वेस्ट किया है, तो 25 ईयर्स, 15 ईयर, 10 साल, 12 साल, ये पूरे टाइम में जो आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट है आपके पास वापस आना चाहिए। आपको ये पैसा वापस दिलाने के लिए ऑपरेशन डिसीजंस पर आवर, पर डे, पर मंथ, पर ईयर बेसिस पे लेने पड़ेंगे। इन डिसीजंस को लेने के लिए हमारा कमिटमेंट है कि ये डिसीजंस के लिए आपके पास सफिशिएंट अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा होना चाहिए। सो आवर अल्टीमेट गोल इज टू हेल्प यू टू टेक डिसीजन फॉर योर कैपिटल which you have invested in the assets. So this is our ultimate goal.
What does India's energy future look like if this problem doesn't get solved?
If there is no operational technology, then what is going to happen? Investment will not give the return, and the scale is very high. Scale is very big. So there has to be operation technology like ours to take care of the operation issues. And in essential, what is happening that we are India is building, India is getting developed, and this developed nations future is dependent on energy. Energy is a you can say backbone of any nation when it is basically when it's basically getting developed or getting in the zone of a developed country. You cannot omit energy. And uh, if one line we want to talk about, Tarita, that we are standing behind the vision of providing of India generating reliable energy and renewable energy. So we are standing behind that vision by means of our technology, and yeah, we are trying to make sure that all the assets which we deploy performs as intended. This is where we stand.